quite long back. I'll tell you exactly how long. Sachin Tendulkar just had 50 centuries. That's how long. That's how long back we're talking about. The long back I'm talking about is people didn't know what an iPhone was in those days. They were using Nokia 1100. That's how long back it was. Yeah. The Sensex was only at 10,000. You could actually drive around in a car at reasonable petrol rates in those times. You could rent a home in Bandra easily for 10,000 rupees. That's how long back we're talking about. This is how long back we were talking about. There were only 6 IIMs. That's how long back we're talking about. It was simple in those days. Things were fairly simple and uncomplicated in those days, right? A group of 2 lakh passionate people, mostly engineers, would write the cat. Yes, that's right, write the cat, not click the cat. Because real men get into an institute by surfing Gopal. So, apparently the cream of the crop, the best layer would go to IIM Ahmedabad. The best B school in Asia, whatever. So let me tell you about this best B school in Asia. Firstly, how many of you guys know what the Sunburn Festival is? Fantastic. It's fantastic. Okay, for those of you guys who don't know, basically the engineers in the room, the Sunburn Festival is an annual party that happens in Goa, organized by the Percept group. All you need to understand about the Sunburn Festival is that it's a lot of music that goes like this. And booze, right? Booze. That's what the Sunburn Festival is. Now let's just reflect for a moment. The greatest B school in Asia has actually organized a sunburn on campus. A lot of you may not know that. Alright, so when I'm talking about sunburn, only 2 things come to mind, right? Electronics, dance music, and booze. Hello, Gujarat. Can you imagine a sunburn in Gujarat? You won't have EDM and booze. You're going to have Falguni Pathak and Dokla. That's what it's going to be. Okay. So that's the greatest B school in Asia that we're talking about there. Right. So right below this we have IMB and IMC. Right. Now these 2 schools are constituted by people who spend the remaining 2 years collectively bitching about IMA. By the way, IMB is a fascinating B school. Nobody knows how to get through IMB. Nobody. Mensa scientists have failed to figure out how to get through IMB. So let me tell you about it. Okay, like you can have the greatest person there, but you just won't get through IMB. I know guys who got calls from every single other B school in the country. Not from IMB. I knew a guy who had 99.99 percentile in CAT. He had 99 in Gopal, he had 98 in DI, and he had 100 in Quant. Along with this, he had 5 years of work experience, not software like all of you guys, actual work experience. So this guy, he was actually a junior associate in a consulting firm, right? And he was so good that they actually promoted him above his peers who had an MBA degree. In fact, he became so good that he actually took training sessions for them and their productivity increased 3-fold. Seeing his contribution to the Indian office, the global office asked him to come over to New York where he transformed lives over there. And then he was still so good that they asked him to open up an office in their most challenging region ever, Guatemala. And he opened up an office in Guatemala and it became the best performing office for the entire company across the globe. Along with this, he managed 5 rock bands across the world, and in his spare time he fought crime and he fed stray dogs. But he didn't get a call from IIM. Probably because his phone number wasn't divisible by 7 or something. No idea how IIM works. Anyway, so that's IIM B and C, right? After that you have IMI and IMK, which are basically tourist resorts. After that, You are my favorite B school in the entire world. Do you know about that? We'll get to that. Seriously, I am Lucknow. Do you know why I am Lucknow is my favorite B school of all time? They have managed to survive 20 years with a festival called Man Fest. Apparently, this is inside information. Apparently, this is a combination of management and festival. Really, you needed 99.5 for that. Just imagine if they got on a villain called Dickinson and asked him to be the head of a department. Can you imagine what that situation would be like? Yeah, that would be awkward, right? Anyway, I'm not going to make fun of IIM. It's cool. But in case you're asking, usually the joke that I make is equated to domestic players from the IPLs. Okay, people who wanted to get that joke will get that joke. It's okay. The others, very good. Not fun, this guy. It makes a lot of fun. So that's a brief history of the IIMs for you. So I'm going to tell you what, guys. It's tough being an MBA. It's tough being an MBA. I'm not gonna kid you. It's really tough being an MBA. I've been an MBA for about 4 years right now, and there's a lot that I go through. It's really tough. The toughest thing is actually justifying that you're an MBA. It's part of your job, right? Because there's no difference between you and the guy who doesn't have an MBA degree. Right? So, a true story is when me and a friend, another MBA, we were called into a product manager's room one day, and he wanted our professional opinion on whether to continue with the product. Now, the product wasn't doing very well, right? And any sane person would say that let's not have the product anymore. So he wanted our opinion on it. Fair enough. So I'm pretty much a no-nonsense guy. I don't like to fluff up things for the sake of it, and I don't like to add 50 extra slides just because I can, right? So I got right to the point and said, listen, nobody wants to buy your product, don't make it. The product manager looked at me as if I had abused his girl child. What is your opinion? My colleague said, and I quote, "Sir, we have done extensive primary and secondary qualitative and quantitative research among your target audience, among the target geographic, among the target demographic. And over there we find that the purchasing power is not at par with what you are willing to pay. Now, unfortunately, sir, we find that according to my personal opinion and my personal position as an independent adjudicator to this situation, that you should discontinue all manufacture, production, distribution, R&D of this product immediately." And the product manager goes, "That is brilliant! That is the sort of in-depth analysis that I expect." So I'm sitting there. "But that's what I said." And he said, "You talk like a child, you are fired." You are promoted senior product manager. That's the way life rolls. It's tough, hence it's tough being an MBA. It's also tough being a B school student, right? It's tough being a B school student, right? Yeah, you guys would know it's tough being a B school student. Also, you guys also have to justify the MBA tag, right? I mean, you have to think strategically, whatever that means. You have to think strategically, right? So, a lot of times this can work, a lot of times it cannot work. I'm going to tell you something that actually happened to me at MICA, where I studied. So this branding prof had come down, right? And he said, "I'm going to give you guys a marketing assignment. I want you to reposition this brand." And okay, cool, let's reposition this brand. What's there? And then something happened to our little group that night, the 5 guys who were working on the assignment. Murphy's Law of B schools happened. Do you know what Murphy's Law of B schools is? Every group apart from yours actually finishes the assignment on time. Murphy's Law of B schools. It happens, right? Like at 7 you are in the canteen going to take your your chai and you're like, oh yeah, I should like start the assignment right now. And then somebody was, oh, you guys haven't started. And then while you are wondering what just happened, another guy just passes by saying, Jignesh, Comscore ko access mila yaar, we can finally dig out data from Belgium. Like, what? Why do you want data from Belgium? What's happening? Right, so you guys meet together, panic, what happens? You end up watching cat videos on YouTube for 2 hours. And then you said, no, guys, serious. Let's get down to this. Let's distribute tasks and everything, and everybody just falls asleep. What happens? You wake up 2 hours before the lecture and you're like, oh my goodness, there's a lecture in 2 hours and we have nothing. Hey, dude, we need something. Dude, we need to put something on our slides. Alright, dude, just say that you don't want to reposition the product. Just say that. Just say, I want to keep the product as it is. And sound convincing about it. So we put these slides together. We are still making the slides as we are walking into the class. So all the other groups are finished. One group has 15 slides just of Excel. Another group actually went and did primary research in Bihar. And we are wondering there, we have a 3-slide presentation that says don't do anything. So we went down. The only advice that a senior gave me as I consulted him on this is just sound convincing. Just sound like you guys are convinced. So he went down and said, Sir, the product is doing very well on its own right now, as you can see. Your target audience perceives it well. Your brand has been growing at 20% over the last year. So, there is no need for you to change the positioning of the product. The professor gave us a standing ovation. He said it takes guts to say that you don't need to change something just for the sake of changing it. We were the only group to get an A+. You should have seen the look on the face of the guys who put all the Excel files. Right? The guy who actually dug out the Comscore access was like, what just happened? What just happened? He's like, he had the same expression as a lot of you would have. Did Ravindra Jadeja actually hit that pitching stick? It's also very tough. It's tough being an MBA, it's tough being a B school student. It's also very, very tough. Probably tougher getting into the B school. You guys would know, you're from an IIM. It's very tough getting through a B school. I mean, I wouldn't know, man. I had 94 and 93 the 2 times I wrote there. And I sense a lot of you are like, look, why like, 94? What are you talking to us? Suddenly Samir is like, wait, I asked him to send his CAT documents over before I invited him. Like, oh, what just happened? So anyway, let's forget that ever happened. So it's tough getting through to a B school. The toughest part is the group discussion. A lot of you would agree, right? How can you build India's Fortune 500 on the basis of how they sit together in a circle and discuss who's going to win the next IPL? Group discussions are tough, man. But you know what? No matter which B school interview you go, no matter which B school group discussion you go for, you will still have the same set of retards in all of them. Yeah. You'll have the same bunch of guys doing the same crazy things. There's a know-it-all. There's a guy called a know-it-all. Okay? This guy knows everything. He knows everything. Really. I mean, there is no reason for him to know everything, but he just does. Let's assume that the topic of discussion was who is going to win the IPL this year. Right? So he would start off by saying, I think Royal Challengers Bangalore has a good chance. And then this guy would pipe up saying, no. Obviously inside joke, let him go. He would say, no. Statistics show that when RCB play in CSK at a home ground, they lose 37% of the time when they open with a batsman who has 5 letters in his name. refined version of the know-it-all, alright? The two-stat wonder. Basically what this guy has done is he has picked up an issue of Business Today 2 weeks before the he's found two very nice stats from there, which he tries to force fit in all group discussions. In all group discussions. No matter what the topic could be fish is good for health, but he'll find a way to fit something about Bangalore in there. So sticking to the same topic, I think Royal Challengers Bangalore will win the IPL this year. Yes, but 42% of Karnataka stays below the poverty line. What just happened? It's slightly crazy. It's slightly crazy. So, another sort of character you will meet in these group discussions is a timid little kid. Okay? Every group discussion is one of these guys. He's a guy who just looks like he accidentally came to the thing and he just wants you to get over with it. I don't know what's happening. Can he go home? Right? Now, complimenting this guy is the over into sort of moderator sort of guy. Basically, now this guy, the moderator, he's a fun chap. Okay, the moderator is a fun chap. He basically has no knowledge about the subject himself. He has no knowledge about the subject himself. But what he does know is that he attended a time group discussion workshop when he was If you don't know anything about the subject, look around you and try to moderate the group. In particular, there will be one guy who's silent throughout. Be helpful and say, now we would like to give this guy a So now you have this timid, scared guy, okay, who's pissing in his pants, he just wants to get out of there, and you're like, please, just let me get this over with. Like, but I would like your friend here to say It's like you made a poor guy who doesn't want to talk to anybody come out and address everybody and everybody's looking at him. Basically what happened over here was Rahul Gandhi. That's what happened. That's basically what happened. Then we have a paraphraser, the guy who says whatever you have said in different languages and he gets 5 extra points. You know, basically the guy who was my partner when I went to meet the product manager, same thing happens over there. So the fun, group discussions are total fun. You can select the cream of tomorrow's India using 5 guys sitting together. And so, there's also the paper tiger. I forgot the paper tiger. Paper tigers are lots of fun. Okay. Now the paper tiger again has zero contribution to the group discussion, but he writes like crazy. You know, they give you these sheets and the pencil before the TV and just ask you to pen down your thoughts. Oh boy, does he pen down his thoughts. He does nothing but penning down his thoughts throughout. Everybody else is like, wow, he has a lot of stuff to talk about, but he really doesn't, right? He's just going to keep writing whatever you guys are saying. I get no, that's a good point. The only way that guy is going to get through any company is if he volunteers to be a secretary taking out minutes of the meeting or something. That's the only way this guy is going to work. So, fun, that's a little bit about group discussion. All of you guys have gone through it. It's quite a sad procedure really. Okay, let's move away from the big bad world of B schools. We'll get back to them in due course of time. But let's talk about something else. Any guys here from Mumbai? That's okay. Any of you guys have been to Mumbai? Anybody's been to Mumbai? Yeah. That's a fair. What do you guys think of it? You guys like Mumbai? You guys like the city? Yeah. I hear sharp yes and no. Yeah. Okay, calm down. It's okay. Let's not. This is okay. I am not a Shiv Sena member. You don't need to start a fight. Okay. Let's not have that here right now. Bombay is a fascinating place, right? The most interesting thing about Bombay are the local trains. Yeah, any of you guys have had the misfortune of traveling in the local trains? Oh, lovely. Local trains are basically, a test to see how many humans you can pack in first. Basically, what I'm saying is, the way you guys are seated right now is 1 p.m. is 1 a.m. That's what it is like in the Mumbai local trains. So you'll have fun, trust me, if you go to Mumbai. But the most fascinating thing about the local trains, okay, I don't know if you guys, the guys who travel by local trains, I don't know if you've noticed this. The same station name, okay, is read out in 3 different accents, in 3 different languages. This is awesome, right? I don't know why they do this, but it's just awesome to follow it. Like, for example, let's take Bandra. Okay, this station. Yeah, don't spoil it. This station, Bandra. Whatever. Agla station, Bandra. Next station, Bandra. That's the way it is, right? That's the way it is. Yeah? And the awesome thing about this, okay, the awesome thing about this is this oomph factor, this, like Govinda meeting, I don't know. It gets stronger, it gets more pronounced the southern in Bombay you go, okay? So all those stations which are like the last 5-6 stations suffer from a severe overdose of it, like Lower Parel. It's that way. There's a station on the central line called Titwala. Would it be awesome if that were the last station on the western line? Just imagine what that would be like. Yeah. That's Mumbai local trains. Those are Mumbai local trains for you. Okay, getting back to the topic at hand. Okay. How many guys from Chennai here? How many guys from Chennai here? Wow. How many guys here have been to Chennai? I mean, come on, obviously. Okay. So guys who are not from Chennai, you guys like the place? You guys like Chennai? There's absolutely no. There's no ambiguity at all, right? Yes. No, there's guys saying yes, so we'll say no. Yeah, come on. No, that's it. Oh, okay, but seriously, why don't you guys like Chennai? If anyone can help me. It's very hot. Who said it's hot? Chennai is not hot. Listen, I grew up in the Middle East. School had to be delayed by 2 weeks because it was too hot. In the Middle East, you punish students by just sending them outside the class and making them stand there. No punishment, nothing. Just no exercise, nothing. Just make them stand out there in the sun. That's how you torture people in the Middle East. Chennai is not hot, trust me. What irks you about Chennai? Food. Somebody said food. Really? Listen, Chennai is the only place in the country that can pronounce paratha and parota and know the difference between them. Chennai is also the only city in the country that knows how to pronounce aloo matar and sambar correctly. If any South Indian has been above the Vindhyas, idli dena. Sir, chutney? Chutney. Sambar? What? Sir, sambar. And the awesome thing is the sambar. The sambar. It's almost Punjabi, like sambar. For some appalling reason, this thing is sweet. It's like onion soup. It's not even onion soup. It's like kesari mixed with. I don't know. It's very bad. It's very sad. So food, sorry, wrong reason to hate Chennai. Huh? I grant you that. I totally grant you that. That's enough reason to not want to come to like India ever again if you come to Chennai. But I'm not level with you guys. I'm a South Indian, but I'm not too fond of Chennai. I'm going to be honest. I really don't like Chennai, but it's not because of the autos. It's not because of the heat. It's not because of the food. Why I don't dislike Chennai is because people wake up too early. Right? I mean, you know this, right? People have this unnatural tendency to want to wake up at rubbish hours like 4:30 and 5. Now, I've got to sleep at 4:30. But waking up at 4:30 is a totally different thing altogether, right? So that's the way it is. A lot of you guys might have noticed this. Chennaiers just want to wake up. Why? Why do you want to wake up so early? What are you going to do so early in the day? What? No, seriously, they're still showing yesterday's programming on television. The newspaper hasn't come yet. What are you going to do at 4:30 in the morning? Really? So it's very strange. I'll tell you why. So I was coming to Chennai a couple of weeks back. I was in Chennai for a friend's wedding. Oh, okay. Wedding. We'll get to that later. We'll get to weddings. Are there any married couples here? Any married couples? So there are guys who don't know whether they're married yet. This is why we need alcohol control in institute. I'm telling you. You know, a guy like, man, that was a bad night, man. Daddy. Okay, that's cool. Just imagine that you wake up one morning and you just find a ring on your finger or something like that. What just happened? Okay, so anyway, so coming back to Chennai. So, I had a train, early morning train to Chennai. It was supposed to land at 5:30. I was like, please, let it just be delayed, let there be maintenance work on the track, something. But no, it came exactly at 5:30. I'm like, okay, time to get up. The cabin was empty, alright? I was coming by sleeper. The cabin was entirely empty. I said, okay, I'll just get up and wake my fellow passengers and we'll all leave. And it was empty. Everybody had already woken up and left. I got down, alright? The sheets were folded and kept over there, like all good Tamil families do. They folded and kept over there. Like, dude! They probably, it was 5:30 in the morning. They probably also finished reading the Hindu 5 different editions. And if they brought along kids, the kids probably solved 2 papers from brilliant tutorials. That was my maximum productivity for the day. That's what I'm saying. I never understand Chennai's obsession to want to wake up so early. There are only 2 legitimate reasons why anyone should wake up at 5:30 in the morning. One is to slip in an extra meal. That's okay. If you say like I'm going to eat now and then I'm going to have actual breakfast at 10:30, that is fine. And the second reason is to watch a test match from Australia. These are the only 2 legitimate reasons why anyone should wake up at 5:30. Right. And this is why I think the Times of India campaign against the Hindu failed in Chennai. Because you notice their tagline was "Wake Up Chennai." If you've been following the general conversation here, Chennai really doesn't have a problem waking up. On the other hand, if they said "Go to sleep, Chennai," that might have been interesting. But then that's Chennai. Okay, let's get back to that wedding actually. Let's get back to that wedding which I was going for. I think it's a brave thing. People for men to get married. It is. For a guy, right? Getting married is like going back to being a kid again. In a lot of ways. You have a woman constantly telling you that your room is filthy. You have a woman constantly telling you that you are an embarrassment at social functions. And you have a woman constantly telling you that you cannot have the latest gadgets. Yeah, and that's a weird part, right? So we can't have headphones for 2,000 rupees, but they can have shoes for 7,000. And these shoes are all, they have crazy names, you know, like Putla and Berromoda. What's that? I've never understood. What is Berromoda? It sounds like a South Indian abuse. It sounds like something TR would say in one of the movies, right? And Yenso Rada. Berromoda. It sounds legit, right? It sounds legit. But I'll tell you the thing about brands. Okay, we're going to get back to a bit of marketing over here. But I'll tell you the thing about brands like Berromoda. Okay, they just sound fancy. Probably not Berromoda anymore. But let's say something else. Let's say Versace. Now that's a classy sounding brand. You would want to pay 2,000 rupees just because it sounds classy, like Versace. It sounds fancy, right? Fancy, cool, it sounds expensive. And that's what happens to a lot of brands. You know, a lot of these expensive brands just sound fancy. Evian, Champagne, Lamborghini. Just sound like they ought to command a premium of 15% more, right? In fact, you guys know this brand called Häagen-Dazs? Yeah. You know what Häagen-Dazs actually means? Nothing, exactly. It means nothing. There is nothing called Häagen-Dazs. There is no place. It's an American brand. Okay, it's an American brand. And this is the true story. It's an American brand. There is no place called Häagen-Dazs. There is no guy called Häagen-Dazs. Peter Hagen and the Dazs didn't get together and said, "Well, hey, let's put a science together." None of that happened. Häagen-Dazs was totally made up by an American. Says, I need an exotic sounding name. So when you think about Häagen-Dazs and suddenly you had all of the images in your head, right? That's Eastern European, that's luxurious. Like you think like when you get your vanilla ice cream, you're like, oh, that's made from cows from Belgium who are eating the finest Luxembourgian grass. Yes. I would love to pay $400 for a vanilla scoop, right? So that's what happens, right? That's what happens to premium brands like Häagen-Dazs. And that really is a tragedy for Indian brands. They can never sound premium. They just can't sound premium. Like, okay, let's take examples of brands that were named after the city where they were from, like Evian water. You guys have heard of Evian water? Fairly expensive. So Evian water is from this place called Evian. Sounds classy, right? You would want to pay $200 for a bottle of Evian's sparkling mineral water. Suppose you started a bottling plant in Chennai. Nungambakam. or if it was from Mumbai, would you want to pay $150 for say Chinchpokli? Right? So that's the tragedy about Indian brands, and it's more so with surnames, right? It's more so with surnames. Look at premium brands that have been named after the founder, like Versace, Lamborghini, Hilfiger. Classy, right? You wouldn't want to pay a lot of money for an expensive car called Patel. You wouldn't want to pay 50,000 bucks for a handbag called Subramaniam. Imagine Milan Fashion Show 13. Mine's a Louis Vuitton. Mine's a Subramaniam. It's just not happening, right? Oh man, that's a tragedy. That's a tragedy. But there's a lot of marketing that goes behind this. So let's come back to marketing a little over here. Marketing is fun. I mean, I've been in marketing for a while. Marketing is basically the process of telling somebody what they don't need and getting money for it. It's a fun process. It's a fun process of marketing. The other functions. So, how many of you guys are looking to take marketing? By the way, over here. That's a sizable population. That's a sizable population. Next to a fun fact. Next to ONGC, marketing is the largest producer of natural gas in the country. So apart from marketing, you have some other fun functions like HR. Any HR guys? Nice. Now, what we must know about HR is the most important skill for HR is the ability to write really long mails in purple-colored Comic Sans. That's the most important skill that an HR manager needs. Then there's consultancy. How many of you guys want to get into consultancy? How many of you guys want to get into consultancy? Okay, I say two. Okay. Now, this is an anomaly. I'm coming to an IIM. I'm asking how many guys want to get into consultancy, and 4 hands go up. Please do not be scared of PlaceCom. How many of you guys actually want to get into consultancy? Consultancy is awesome, right? Consultancy is the process by which you pay somebody, okay, for stuff that you already know in a language that you can't understand. That's what consultancy is. That's what consultancy is in a nutshell. And then there is finance. But I'm going to tell you what. I'm not going to make fun of finance. I'm not going to make fun of the finance guys. The economy takes care of that on a daily basis. those are various courses that, those are various things that you can be after graduating from USU. Can I have a little piece of paper that I actually kept over there? I keep forgetting material. I might be out of material, so I'll just sing for you or something. What am I missing out here? What am I missing out? Oh yes, of course, of course. Okay. Last bit of stuff over here, guys. I'm going to talk about something that is very dear to all of us. Okay, I'm not talking about MBA right now. This is part MBA. I'm going to talk about something that connects all of us in this room. Okay? It's something very. No, don't smile, don't laugh. It's something very serious. It's something that binds all of us together as a community. Talk about engineering. Engineering. Talk about engineering, right? Engineering is a fun degree. Right? Engineering is fun. How many engineers here? How many not engineers here? Let me put it that way. Okay. Non-engineers from the IIM. Just okay. Oh, awesome. What are they? I'm sorry. That just sounded bad. What are they? Right? What do you do? A dentist is a doctor. Everybody else.
I have some of my colleagues who are non-engineers, so
that's cool. Yeah, because what I've usually seen at B school when guys get together for the first time, they're introducing. Okay, so what do you do before this? Like I'm mechanical, electrical, and then I'm a doctor. How do we talk to one? Code or something. Do you understand? We really don't know how to deal with non-engineers. It's funny. Well, the thing is, engineers, right? Engineers, they have. Let me tell you something about engineers. I know this is going to offend a lot of you over here. I apologize sincerely in advance because I know a lot of you are so passionate about engineering. A lot of you have your entire syllabus tattooed on your back and all that. I know you guys are very passionate engineers, but I'm going to say some stuff that's going to offend some of you, so please bear with me over here. Engineers have absolutely no clue what they want to do. Absolutely no clue. They have no idea why they're in an IIM. They have no idea why they took a metallurgical engineering. They have absolutely no idea why they went to software. They have no clue. They just went along with the flow. Like I said, Fine ka center chal chal. That's the way it happened. You accidentally wound up with a 99 because you knew how to add. Right? So that's what happens. So let's look at a typical engineer in India, right? Metallurgical engineering for 4 years. .NET in Cognizant for 2 years. And HR in a B school for 2 years. Now apparently this is a plan. This is a plan. That is not a plan. That's the way Yusuf Pathan bats. I'm really all over the place. Engineers say the weirdest of things in order to get through to a B school. Right? One of them being this awesome animal which nobody has figured out. It's called analytical skills. All of you guys have done it, admit it. Like, you've done engineering for 4 years and you want to do an MBA in operations. Yes sir, that's right sir, that's fine sir, that's fine. That's right sir. Okay. What did you learn during your engineering? Sir, Kirchhoff's laws and no, calm down. I didn't ask you for an equation. Tell me, what did you actually learn? What did you get out of engineering? I mean, what skills from engineering are you going to apply into your B school? Analytical skills? What does that even mean? What does analytical skills mean? See, I'm an engineer. I've been through everything. Kirchhoff's law, the Darcy-Weisbach equation. Some of you guys are like, it's like when you hear a 90s pop song, right? This is also the only possible time like the Backstreet Boys or the Darcy Reachback equation are going to be used in the same sentence. Right? So it's something like that. So the guy says, okay, I'm good. Then the prof looks at this, oh, this is good at analytics. Okay. So what I would like to see is actually an interview panel calling somebody's bluff. Okay, that would be awesome. That would be just brilliant, right? Somebody who actually said, oh, okay, so you say you have analytical skills, analyze something. Can you imagine what the guy would go through here? My curriculum did not teach me to deal with a situation like this. Right? What do I do? You give me a situation and I will analyze it. Yes, fair enough. Israel, Palestine. Analyze that. Something related to engineering. Okay, let's do something related to engineering. Analyze that. Can you imagine that happening in a B-school? Sorry for the guy. Dude, that would be totally awesome, right? Somebody actually calling the bluff at an interview. Okay, now I'm going to wind up. It's almost time. A lot of you guys have to go back to hostels and things like that. So I'm going to wind this up very quickly. Actually, it's not so much of a joke. Actually, the jokes are all done. I just want to communicate something to you guys. Okay. A lot of you would have read the comics that I put up on Pagal Guy. Anybody reads them at all? Okay, awesome, fantastic. 3 people. That's great. If I knew that only so many of you were going to read the comics, I would have recycled more material from there, right? Anyway, so a lot of people actually read these comics and they come to me. It's okay. So for guys who don't know, these comics are based on B-school life and how bad things are going to be after you graduate from a B-school, right? It's like the big bad world of MBA. I try to demystify it when I tell them, okay, this is what reality is. It's not everything like the first 2 pages of your time brochure. It's a little murkier than that. Okay. So I try to do that. I try to demystify these things a little. And so a lot of guys actually call me up and ask, dude, is it like that bad? I mean, is it as bad as you make it out? I mean, your comics, you're vicious on MBAs, man. You make us sound like the scum of the earth, man. You're below politicians in your ranking of things. I mean, are things really that bad? And I want to use this forum, since all of you over here. I want to tell you guys that it's really not that way. Okay. It's not as bad as I make it out to be in the comics. So life after MBA is not as bad as I make it out to be in the comics. It's much worse!